Ooh. So Twitter's going to sue Threads. We got bad news for The Flash. And we've also got some news about Ghostbusters 5. And we've also got a very special guest on the other side of Australia, which for this time, this is nice. Now across the pond, we've got Dave from the Three Little Pigs podcast. How you going, man?
Good, mate. Good. Thank you very much for having me. Hello, everybody. It's me. It's a me.
It's me, Mario. Hey, that was a good movie this year.
I still haven't seen it yet. My kids have seen it, but I haven't.
Oh, you need to. It's actually one of the movies that hasn't box office bombed this year, surprisingly.
It's because of Jack Black doing the Peaches song. I'm pretty sure that's if the Flash did a song like that, it'll be perfectly fine, man.
Oh, that's true. Which, funny enough, that that Peaches song, because it's an original song, it is actually eligible for the Oscars next year as an original song.
That's wicked. I said it should be, and I said if Jack Black's singing, obviously, which he was, it's why not? First Oscar for a decent animated soundtrack would be good.
Exactly right. He knew the role as soon as he signed. He knew what the job was, which that song has become fire.
100%. My kids love it. Even my 5-year-old sings it with the Jack Black voice, so it's even better.
Peaches, 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 peaches. But all right, guys, we've got a whole bunch of pop culture news to get through for this episode, and we're also going to be reviewing the latest episode of Secret Invasion: Betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
But before we fully get into it, you guys all know what comes up next.
Welcome to the Light, Camera, Rant Podcast, your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Thank you, Dave, for coming on this episode. So tell us about your podcast. You guys got 22 episodes. You started in 2019. You've got your merch store all up and running. So yeah.
Yeah, I said it's been, obviously we don't do a lot of content. We're obviously a bit slack when it comes to that, but obviously we've done 22, 23 episodes, but they're all like an hour and a half long. So it's there's a lot there to dig through if you're chucking your headphones on a train. But we decided use it as a point of, when life gets too hectic, you tend to forget about catching up with mates. So we decided as a way to catch up with the three of us, usually over way too many malted beverages, and it just became, we decided to talk about everything from true crime stuff. We don't want to be on that bandwagon of true crime, but we talked about conspiracy theories, paranormal stuff, talked about some local legends. So we talked about Christmas in July, which is when we talked about stuff for Wales traditions, and Krampus was one of them. But yeah, I think we've just sort of tried to diversify as much as we can. We've got a gaming channel where Chris Goose plays a few streams. He's been busy with work, so that's again taken a bit of a hiding as well. So, but yeah, we've got merch store with a few designs, including Chris's face emblazoned across your chest for all those people that really want a weird Australian guy with his face across a t-shirt. But huge. But we just wanted to have a bit of fun and a way to talk about stuff because we all play video games as well. So we talk a lot about the video game side of things, and that's what we project. Because obviously we don't live all in the same town now. We will catch up online and play video games with each other, and then record random shit. So that's pretty much us in a nutshell, man.
Oh, no, you guys have a great show. I've listened to a couple of episodes, and I can't remember how you guys come up. I think it must have come up my Instagram suggestions.
Yeah.
It might have come up, and I've listened to a couple of episodes, and you guys have a really good show. And you're like, it's too bad you guys only have like 22 episodes, because I have no doubt that if you could pump out more, people,
for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess as I said, we wanted to make sure we were doing, especially because, like for example, yourself, pop news changes every every day or every couple of days. So you've got that fresh content continuously, which is awesome. New movies get released every 5 seconds. As we've look at the Instagram page, talking about video games that are popping up left, right, and center in delays. Whereas, like, for example, you get true crime, because there's such a saturation, you don't just want to pop something out that's going to be half decent or half decent, as opposed to something you put a bit of time into. And we try to go the weirder done a couple of mains. Yeah. So we did like the Japanese suicide forest, which obviously the Paul brothers decided to disrespect of the many years ago. But like the actual back behind that actual story is actually quite interesting. Obviously, if it's on one of the episodes. But we talked about the more like sky burials as well, which was in where is it? The Himalayas. They don't bury their old people; they dump them on top of or they used to dump them on top of a hill, and they just let the vultures rip them to bits.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we were like, oh, this is a random as shit topic. So let's have a talk about that. And that's one of the episodes we did. So
true. And I remembered that. That was the Japanese forest. That was that blew up on TikTok. I'm sure I think it was TikTok. It blew up about it, and I saw that everywhere. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's weird because I've watched a couple of documentaries, part of the research part of it for the episode, and there's actually people that are paid to go out and rescue people that are on the brink of taking their life. And turns out that a lot of the ground underneath is magnetic or volcanic rock. So it ends up screwing with watches and compasses. And it's obviously a theory that they talk about the brainwaves get a bit screwed up in there, and it either becomes peaceful or a bit of clarity for people in there. And there's obviously hundreds of people that have killed themselves in there. So yeah. But I said it was an interesting topic. There was the reason it came about was actually a poem called "The Sea of Trees," which is what Aoki Shara actually means in Japanese. It's a sea of trees, and that's what it became, because it's all like a different green color, and that's what which changed it to. Yeah. Huh. So we picked the weird stuff.
Yeah. Oh no. That's what makes it interesting. Which to on top of the true crime, I'm pretty sure. I think it's True Crime is the number one streamed podcast topic between true crime and money.
Yep, 100%.
Through the most.
Yeah, and it's because we based our not based the podcast, but based a sort of idea over. There's a podcast called The Last Podcast on the Left, which is 3 guys that talk long form about heaps of different topics.
I love names like that.
Wicked. And they've been going. We went and saw them live when they came to Perth, and that sort of just put the fire in the belly that you could have comedy as well as talk serious and have comedy at the same time. But that was the whole premise about it, because we thought we could talk shit about that easily. Yeah,
which you guys do very well. It's why I enjoy it when I see a new episode from you guys. I was actually just catching up on your latest one, and it's funny because I looked at the title and I was like, all right, I need to know how this came.
Yeah, morphine and coke.
Yeah, I was like, how did this come into a conversation?
It does go a bit random on the odd occasion where you go, like, where does that title come from? We had like, what was it? The Devil's Pantry, because the girl had lots of devils living inside her. So, well, that's a devil's pantry, isn't it? So it's, it just try to make it as random. Like, obviously, for Listen Home, there's one, Oops, Wrong Pedophile, because the reason we used that title is because Jamie thought that we were talking about Epstein, but then we were talking about Weinstein at the same time. So we're like, oh, sorry, that's the wrong pedophile. And that's why that title came about.
No, it's the other one.
Yeah, the other awful person.
Yeah, down the track.
Yeah.
No. And for everyone who's listening in, all their show notes, all the links will be in the show notes. So please go check them out, give them a follow, and definitely check out their merch store. Because, like as you said, there's only a couple of designs now. There's going to be plenty more in future.
100%.
Which leads to me to we're going to dive into some pop culture news, which the biggest thing that everyone's talking about in the past week was Meta is now bringing out their version of Twitter.
Yes, pulling on the threads.
Yes. It's I got the notification where I was like, what the hell is Threads? And I looked at it, and when I joined, I was like, okay, Twitter.2, and great. Another social media platform to add to the pile.
Yeah. No, Lee, no. It's
All right. And not to mention, I saw that Twitter is looking to sue over it, which is no surprise. But
No.
apparently, yeah, copycat or the Twitter killer. I'm like, the thing is, probably the one bonus thing that Mark Zuckerberg did very well for the launch of this is integrate with Instagram. So all your followers automatically go into it. So
Yep.
you're not having to go, hey, follow me on this. Hey, follow me. Like, it just goes straight across.
Yeah. It's because I think they were talking about the fact that even though it looks like Twitter pretty much is Twitter 2.0, they can't copyright the fact of text-based posting because there's been so many, like with you go like a Bebo, I'm showing my age, but Bebo and MySpace, we did exactly the same sort of thing.
MySpace, what was it? Was it Matt? Was it Matt your only friend when you started?
Yeah.
Or Tom? It was Tom.
Tom, yeah. It's but yeah, so they can't copyright per se the idea around it, but it's obviously if they start blatantly copying, and that's where they're going to have the problem. But if they just are using the vibe of Twitter, then that's where it'll be fine.
Yeah, because I can see you can post GIFs, you can post short form content all over it, and I'm guessing probably the one bonus going from Threads to Twitter is the fact that I know Twitter not degrades, doesn't let your tweets get viewed a lot if you put an external link on it.
Yep. 100%.
It gets pushed down.
Yeah, we had the same problem when we put out some episodes, or because it's awesome. I put some short form videos onto Twitter, and it didn't really hit as much as the Instagram did, which was a shame. Pain in the ass.
Nah, and I'm like, well, Twitter's great, but like I can only it's so many characters that I can put on there, and you know what? Like, how else are people going to see that? Oh, like, cool! I can see a tweet. It would be great to watch that, or great to see that, but I can't go to that platform.
Yeah, and that's the same as Reddit as well. So we had a Reddit account, and I put some just to sort of test the waters with some of the videos or the reels I did. I throw it onto Reddit to get an idea, but they wouldn't let you put it up unless you'd spent time on which is a pain in the ass. That's why Instagram and all the other ones are easy to test the waters, and you'll generally find out pretty quickly whether it's a shit video or someone likes it. So, yeah.
But yeah, 100%. And it's nice. I'll be not surprised if Twitter goes through with it, and Elon Musk goes through with suing them.
Yeah. It keeps him in the news, doesn't it? So, and that's the big thing for. Obviously, he's got a few other issues going on, but it keeps him in the limelight, keeps him in the, even if it's a negative press, because any press is good press. Apart from unless you ask Colin Ballinger, but that's another story altogether.
No, I completely agree with you. Well, between the suing of this and what is it, Zuckerberg and Elon Musk meant to have an UFC fight.
Yep. This going to end well. It's just going to be handbags at 10 paces, I think, just because it's not going to be it's not going to be a good one either way.
No,
again, it's the same as what is his name, Floyd Mayweather coming out and fighting all these random people. It's just for the money. That's all it is.
Yeah,
money.
That's exactly right. Have you seen the matchup card between them? Have you seen that floating around?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I lost my shit when it said, was it Elon Musk built like a 1950s fridge?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that Zuckerberg's going to have the advantage because he's a reptilian man, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah, he's a lizard. Have you saw the court case where he drinks the water?
And his eyes go sideways? Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. But Yeah, I'll be very curious to anyone, obviously anyone listening in, anyone tuning in, like what's your feedback? Do you think Threads will be a Twitter killer because it's the advantage over with Instagram? Or do you think this will be something that it's going to go on the pile like everything else that's come and gone, like Vines?
Yeah, that became TikTok as well, didn't it? So whether they get because it was Musically became Vines, and then Vines became TikTok, pretty much.
That's right. And I remember TikTok was just a music app when it first started.
Yep. You could do the voiceovers, which is obviously what those duets or the, what's they called? Stitching, because you used to do
That's
stitching
right,
on with
yeah.
other people. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously because of COVID, that just blew up even more.
Yeah. And obviously, especially because everyone's sitting at home. Well, obviously, you guys more so in Melbourne than we over here. So,
yeah, most lockdown state.
Yep.
Actually, I think most lockdown state in the entire world.
Yeah, it's because of Uncle Dan, but we're not talking politics.
No, no, and actually, it's because of all those lockdowns. This entire podcast was born. I'm like, well,
there you go.
All I can do is drink and eat, and I can't leave my house. So I'll start a podcast.
Yeah, there you
go. Just real quick, I don't even know this, but they're making a Hot Wheels movie.
Yeah, I saw you put something on.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's meant to be emotionally grounded and thrilling, but it has no release date right now.
Yeah. It said it's essentially on your Instagram post. As long as it's a R18 version and may contain strong sex scenes, I'll go and watch it. It's fine.
So the more intense version of Fast and Furious.
Yeah, exactly right. It's all about family.
Oh God, you don't want that in there. Which I didn't even before I saw that post. I didn't even know. Especially with J.J. Abrams, with everything he's done, I'm so surprised that he'd be looking to go make a Hot Wheels movie. I'm like, dude, you've done Star Wars, you did Star Trek, and there was another one, number 8. I'm like, what has Hot Wheels got appealing to you?
It's got
to make
money.
This movie? Yeah, it's the almighty dollar.
That's right.
Yeah,
because apparently it's like 30 different adaptations of Mattel stuff coming out. Obviously,
41.
41. Oh, Jesus. So you're milking a horse.
Hey, why not? If you can make a toy about anything, you can make a movie about any toy. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, there is a movie about battleships with Liam Neeson.
Is that the one with Rihanna in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that.
Oh, yeah. It's a stain on the movie set. I guess the same thing as have you seen the movie Surf Nazis Must Die?
No, but now you've completely got my personality. That sounds like, what was it? Philosopasta.
Yeah. It's very because I used to work in a video shop when I was younger. No, I was a United Video. Oh yeah, I was very similar to that. So I was United Video, and we used to get as employees used to get all the trailers, like the trailer DVDs or tapes when it first came out. That's how old I was. Trailers and tapes came out, and one of them was an ad for Surf Nazis Must Die, and the trailer for it, it's my go-to trailer voice. You can beat all the other guys that do the this summer, that one, or you do Surf Nazis. But I'll let you have a watch it when you're off air. But it's my favorite trailer voice. Yeah,
I'll have to watch that. That's
a stain on cinema is Surf Nazis Must Die. But it's one of those ones it's so bad it's good. So
yeah, well that's. Yeah. Have you ever seen which one of those movies is Postal?
No, I haven't seen Postal.
Postal it was based on a video game where a guy.
Yep, I know the video game.
Yeah, they made a movie of it, and it's just so bad. It's you have to watch it. Like the beginning of it starts off with the 2 planes of 9/11. That's pretty much how I could start that. That's the type of movie it is.
And it's got it's got J.K. Simmons. I'm just looking at the thing on J.K. Simmons, and I'm going, these guys are not bad actors. What are you doing?
Nah.
Yeah.
But
I'll have to watch it.
It's
put it
just
on my list
it's
of things
so
to
bad.
watch.
It's so funny. And it's just about a guy who just has a really bad day and everything just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, excellent.
And for everyone who doesn't know what Philosopher Pastor is, I'm pretty sure it's an action movie where a church pastor turns into a Velociraptor
Yep,
and takes on bad guys.
pretty much. Yep, but it uses the same guy who has a lot of work, the overdub guy who does the 1990s. It was a hot summer. Those guys do the Velociraptor voice. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, I need to check that. I need to watch that.
Yeah. Give it a go, man. It'll be good. But has the Barbie movie come out yet? Because obviously I know that's one of Mattel's little
No, that comes
which is
in
blowing up.
2 weeks. That comes in 2 weeks. They're dropping out at the same time as Oppenheimer, which are Barbie Oppenheimer. You know, we go see Oppenheimer, then go to Barbie, then let's go party.
Yeah. Have you heard the story of Oppenheimer? Obviously, it's obviously part of World War II, and it was how the bombs got made. But the actual story behind it's mental.
I know of the basis of it. Like he was the guy who created the atomic bomb, and then after it, he was very shooken about it. And my next reference to that story is the Wolverine, the opening scene. That is my reference.
Yeah. Because they actually ended up having a group of guys that were called the Bastard Brigade, who would, because they had to fly into Germany and get off. I'm going on a rant, but
it's fine. That's what this whole show is built on.
And it does say ranting. So the only way that they knew how to make bombs was through hard water, and the only availability in the world for hard water was in like Germany controlled. I think it might have been Belgium. So they had to fly guys in called the Bastard Brigade to seize that hard water to transport it back on a spy plane back to England to then make the first enriched uranium. So that's how you make it. So it's obviously a lot more of the story, but it's I got it from the last podcast and left it like a 5-part series on the whole story, and it's like it's wicked. It was wicked.
Holy shit!
Yeah. But they didn't. As part of the 4th episode, they hadn't even got to making the bomb yet. They were doing 4 episodes on the whole lead up, so it's a massive story.
Oh my god! As soon as I saw that Christopher Nolan was making this, obviously the premise about, I was like, sold. Like you could show me nothing, and I'll buy my ticket.
Yeah, he's
Because just recently he mentioned in an interview there is 0 CGI.
Damn. Okay. That's good. It's good. Like going back to the old school, just using physical effects, I guess. But it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I try to convince my wife to go, but the words were, that appears to be very boring, Dave. Why are we going to this? And I'm like,
and you're like, I know a whole bunch of other people that'll go with me. Well, it is 3 hours long.
Yeah. It's
what was it?
There's another movie I watched the other day, which was the Avatar: Way of the Water. Like, they've again, the first one was really good, something different. But yes, I can always find another wife. Thank you, mark my words. But no, she's in the other room, and if I hear me say that, I may be dragged off the screen. But the Way of Water, which was good, but tell me you've ripped off the Maori culture without telling me you've ripped off the Maori culture. And it was good, and I just thought almost 3 hours long was pretty much flogging a dead horse trying to get, and they're doing another 2. So
yes, they're doing Avatar 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it's like I watched Avatar 2, and to me, like I was saying this in my review, I was like, this is made for the cinema. The CGI is outstanding. You cannot argue that. It is a beautiful movie to watch, as weirdly as it is to say that. But when you look at everything else, you're like, okay, this is just like Avatar.
Yeah, exactly right. With just
the Fire Nation.
Green people. Yeah, with the green people.
The green people. Like it's exactly the same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you, most mark my words, for coming past on YouTube. And your lovely comment after that. But yeah, Avatar is that is so long. And all the 2 of the sequels got pushed back, which I think Zoe Saldana even said. She's like, when I started, when I started this movie, I was like 24 or 25, and she's going
Hmm.
when Avatar 4 finally releases, she's gonna be like near her 40s.
Damn. Okay.
But yeah, like as Mr. Mark My Word says, the production on the movie was crazy. Like he did deliver it,
Yeah.
but you gotta remember, I think from when the first Avatar came out to when the last one came out, people have gone through high school and primary school in the entire time.
Same as Lord of the Rings, though, isn't it? When they put the first lot out, and then the second lot, I think it was over 10 years or 12 years, I think, from start to
the
finish.
Hobbit prequels.
Yeah. Obviously, coming from New Zealand, I don't know whether you've picked up my accent, but
Yes.
the movies were actually made over my back fence. So some of the Lord of the Rings movie were made over in a park behind my house in New zealand. It's on the first where they knocked down the big tree. The orcs are cutting down the big tree.
Yeah.
In the first, so that was in my back garden wall, about 500 meters away, and a floodlight from Peter Jackson used to fire through my side ranch slider window into my house the entire time. So
holy shit.
And about 3 or 4 of my mates were all extras. So the pretty ones were elves, and the ugly ones were Uruk-hai and orcs. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. You got to be that close to it. But you're right. When was the first? I think the first Lord of the Rings was 2002, 2001.
Yeah. I was still living at home. So it was. But they filmed it before then. So 2000 to 2001 is when they were filming it. But it was good fun.
You made Mr. McWords very jealous. He's a big, huge Lord of the Rings fan. He loves it, and I can't remember if you liked the Hobbit, Mark. I can't remember because I know the Hobbit prequels were a little bit divisive, I think, by the critics and fans.
Yeah, it's I said I liked, again, I was getting to the point where they were starting to flog the living crap out of it. The storylines are good, like as if you had them as two separate. I know they're two separate series, but I think they were just trying to get a bit of money on them.
Yeah, well, that's right. And now with the TV show, like, what do you think about the TV show?
I didn't mind Rings of Power. I was happy with it. There was some good bits. There was some awful bits, but there was some good bits at the same time. And I'll watch the next season when it comes out. I think it's this year, sometime September, maybe.
I don't right now. I don't know because I know so much is in limbo because of the writer's strike.
Yeah.
Because I think between what was the other big show that came out? Oh, the Game of Thrones prequel.
Yeah. Still haven't seen that.
Which was originally going to be the most expensive show ever made until Lord of the Rings came out.
Yeah, exactly right.
But yeah, everything right now with the writer's strike is everything's in limbo, just like video games. Delayed. Oh, look, an indie game delayed.
Yeah. It was obviously they've just released 30 indie games on Steam at the moment, like free to play ones. They're shit, but there's nothing, not a lot. They're very, as someone described it on a Steam community, he said it just appears to be some foreign nations crypto mining using these to solve puzzles. I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to download that game then. So
true. Was it Mr. Michael Words? 1 and 2 were good. 3 was more of a cash grab. Everything has to be a trilogy for the Hobbit show. Yes, House of the Dragons. That was right. And Mark really did like House of the Dragon. I terrible as it sounds, I have never actually watched Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
I didn't. Yeah, no, everyone says the same thing. I never actually watched it. I never go into it. And not to mention the ending was so. The ending was so decisive.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'll be back in 2 seconds, man.
That's right. Sin. Look, look, Mr. Mark Words, I will watch it. It is on the list. Same with Everything Everywhere at Once. Same with the Mission Impossible movies, all 7 of them. And There's also another TV show that my old man's been telling me to watch. It is on Netflix. I think it's Netflix, and it's how Spotify got started. Like how Spotify changed the music game for everybody. I'm through. Yes. A big thing that Mr. Mark Woods also does. He has given me 3 out of 0 recommendations that I have watched and utterly loved, which everyone who's a regular listener on this show would know I preach about all the time. Between The Boys, Invincible, and Ted Lasso. Those are 3 recommendations that he recommends. And he was right. He was 100% right. David, are you excited for Deadpool 3?
Yeah, 100%. I said I've loved Deadpool. I've rewatched them both a number of times. It's definitely, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I want to see it at the cinema just to get that, what they want to do. But I'll get it on DVD as well because I want all the extra bits because it's going to be massive amounts of cameos. So it's going to be hilarious.
Well, speaking of cameos, there was a rumor with Channing Tatum is going to finally appear as Gambit. That's a rumor, and now we've got Jennifer Garner is returning as Elektra. Which, real quick, thank you, Mr. Mark Morris, for coming past. I'll speak to you soon.
See you, mate.
Jennifer Garner's coming back as Elektra.
Yeah, and wasn't there talk that they were going to bring back Ben Affleck as a little cameo with him as Daredevil? Obviously, that would tie in nicely with Elektra. So
yes,
yeah.
Yep, she's apparently. He's coming back. He's filmed a scene as well. This movie is shaping up. Like I was already excited. Like you already had me sold with Hugh Jackman coming back.
Yep.
I was like, done. I don't need to see anything else. But this is just shaping up to kind of like be what Multiverse of Madness was meant to be.
Yeah. All the obviously, I had issues with Multiverse of Madness. I love the movie, but giving the Illuminati so much less time, I wanted to keep it. Obviously, no, they'll come out in other movies, but I just think that was a wasted opportunity to start working on those 4 anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I just like how WandaVision killed a paraplegic.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
No, not like it could get away. But yeah, she did. She straight up killed Xavier, turned Mr. Fantastic into string cheese. Yeah, noodles. Killed Captain Carter with her own shield, turned her into sliced and diced, and then crushed Miss Marvel with a giant statue.
Yeah.
All not wearing any shoes.
There you go. See? It's because she's grounded. That's why.
Exactly right. But yeah, it's with this cast list. Elektra is probably not one of the people I was expecting to be like, oh yeah, that's a cameo I could really want. But now knowing that she's going to be in it, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I said, I'm just looking at something at the moment saying the Gambit has already filmed his scene, so it's good to go. I'm looking forward to that because I did like, as much as people didn't like it, where the movie that the Deadpool was first brought up in, I think was it the Wolverine? Origins.
X-Men Origins, yeah.
Yeah. Where they completely stuffed Deadpool on there. I know it's obviously part of the Deadpool, but it was. I liked part of that movie, and it's. But I'm definitely looking forward. I just lost my train of thought, man. Sorry. I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3, man. It'll be really, really good.
No, that's all right. One argument I say about the X-Men Origins thing is when he turned into the faceless Merc right at the end, that was a bit bad. But I feel like when with just the Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds in that first bit of it, that was fine. That was Deadpool to a T.
Yeah,
it was just the guy with that's literally his tagline is Merc with the mouth. You sewed up his mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come in, guys. Everybody's dead.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. It's all good.
Everybody did. But no, so I said, I'm there looking forward. And I said, now what my train of thought was when Gambit came in that movie with Tyler Kitsch as the Gambit. I was hoping I know that what's his face, bloody Channing Tatum can't act his way out of a shoebox, but I was hoping there. All they do is literally just give him no shirt and put him in front of a movie or like tweeting the Jump Street series.
My name is Jeff.
My name's Jeff. But I was hoping that Taylor Kitsch was going to, because I like him, and he was in
Friday Nights or Friday Lights.
Yeah, Friday Lights, and he was in the war movie where they all died. I can't remember. That's pretty much most war movies. But
yeah, I was going to say, hey, you're going to have to narrow it down, man.
I'm sorry, I can't. That's all you've got to go with, and your answer is. But yeah, Taylor Kitsch. I thought that they could elaborate on him a bit more, because I would like to have a Gambit side series, or at least even so he can. Because I'm watching the original X-Men series when I was a kid. Gambit was always my favorite. Oh, that's right. That's Saturday mornings for me. Yeah, but no, it's it. Deadpool's going to be wicked. I think. Hopefully, they don't mug it. I really, really hope they don't mug it.
I don't think they will, because this is what I always remind everyone. Is like, you remember, Kevin Feige is a fanboy just like us. And it's going to be R-rated. Ryan Reynolds has done the right part of the writing for it. And obviously Hugh Jackman is going to be very particular of how this Wolverine is going to be, because he wasn't going to return, but I can understand why. I'm like, well, you finally get to make this movie with Ryan Reynolds. And which just rumor was that we will finally see him in the famous yellow suit. He's going to finally don it.
Yeah, but I'm watching that this week. I tried to find, there was a leak photo. I found it on a website, but I just can't find the website again. But it wasn't like bright yellow. It was sort of like a dirty yellow color. So it was still had the ears, still had what it looked like in the original TV series. So it'd be good, especially if they bring up a lot of the old, instead of just making Hugh Jackman do it, even where they've done little crosses to, if you look at the original one, Deadpool, when they open the door and see all the X-Men in there, and he shuts the door and walks away. If they could do a flash to that and do everybody in their old suits, that'll be wicked. If you could put everyone in their old suits,
that'd be cool. And I love the fact that this is just going to be, also because Deadpool's stuffing up the timeline and Owen Wilson's chasing him for some reason because he's just stuffing up the timeline. So,
oh really?
It's going to be. The rumor is Owen Wilson's going to be in this because he's still got that device from a cable.
Yep.
That he's jumping through time, and then the TVA are after him.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. I haven't actually dug too much into the storyline because I wanted to leave it a little bit too.
Oh, sorry.
No. It's good. No, it's at least you know what the premise is, as opposed to going in and it's going to be him saying dick and fart jokes the entire time, which I didn't mind because I think he's an amazing comedian. But at least it's got some sort of step. It reverts back to the original Marvel universe, which is good. That's
right. So that's how they're going to bring in the fact that he's in the MCU, is because he's messing around with time and the TV. Which to me, when I read that, I was like, that just slots in so perfect. Like that's not out of the realm. That's not too far fetched. Like he's the perfect person to do that.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. It's going to tie it up with a bit R rating as well. It's going to be, I do like the R rating. Yeah, it's going to be chef's kiss.
And it got brought forward too. We're getting this in Feb now.
Yeah, 6 months, wasn't it, or something like that? Is it 6 months? Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that's to kick off the year. And also, what was coming out next year is that with Cap 4, that's finished filming, and apparently. This two things. One, apparently this is meant to be the biggest cameos of Avengers after Avengers. Like we'll see the most Avengers in this movie, and apparently Robert Downey Jr. has filmed a scene.
I did see that the other day.
Which I'm not like he doesn't need to be fully in it. I'll take a cameo. Like
yeah. Make the money walk away.
He's good. Yeah, exactly right. Between all the money he's made from Iron Man, and now he's going to be appearing in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, this is some guy doing a quick contract for a couple of weeks to get his film done and get paid out millions of dollars, which is good. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, call me again when you need anything else. Yeah. I take this bag of money.
Yeah, exactly right.
Not to mention, also, we're next month we're meant to get a new trailer for the Marvels. The second trailer coming, which I'm going to take a stab and say probably the trailer won't drop until after the ending of Secret Invasion.
Yep. Because it'll probably tie into it. I would suggest that again from a release schedule, they'll probably do it because you've still got Brie Larson lining up with Samuel L. Jackson, so you'd be silly not to do it straight afterwards.
That's right. Which not only are we meant to get that, but we're also meant to get the first trailer for Loki season 2.
Oh, wicked! That was a good series. I love the Loki series. It was something different as opposed to the cookie cutter stuff that. Avengers got great. Avengers movies great, but at the same time, it was all the sort of same sort of stuff a little bit. Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. I really liked Loki. It had a great intro. Like you still hear people using that same tune, and just it was just another version that Tom Hiddleston could still play this character. And that opening scene, it still gets me when he watches his entire life flash before his eyes and realize this is what happens. This is how you die. Yeah.
It was good. And I said Tom Hiddleston because I've seen him. He's actually a very, very good actor. He's been in a lot of theatre and a lot of, and his ability to actually have his own, as opposed to living in the shadow of Thor. Obviously, it was great in the Marvel universe, but having his own series allowed him to stretch his acting chops a bit more than normal, which was good.
Yeah. Which he's a great actor. Like he was in, I can't remember. My old man watched it. He's some kind of cop show. I think a Welsh cop show, and he's in it, and he plays it really well. But I'd be very curious to know if Loki will be appearing in, which he probably will, Secret Invasion, Kang Dynasty.
Yeah, I guarantee there's going to be some sort of nod to it, or at least some sort of cameo, or even a sort of a one-shot glance to get people, because they like keeping people on tenterhooks with these sort of things. So,
no, you never know who's going to rock up.
Yeah, exactly right.
Now this one is interesting. So, have you seen anything about this movie?
No, it's just started popping up in my feeds more, but I haven't actually delved into it at all.
So this movie is Zack Snyder's answer to his version of Star Wars. So this is inspired by Star Wars, and this is Zack Snyder's vision of a space opera mega movie. It's very strange. It's coming on Netflix. That is probably the most strangest thing. But he apparently, and recent thing is not only is this getting a movie, but he's looking like 2, 3, 4. Like he's looking franchise for it.
Cool. It's very Dune-y looking as well. Star Wars, but obviously very Dune. I'm just looking at the set photos at the moment. It's even got the guy from the original Deadpool in it too.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's looking at the first. I don't think we've got a full proper trailer yet, but we got I think it's a featurette. Featurette.
Yeah,
like behind the scenes. But yeah, this comes out at the end of December. But I know a lot of people are excited for this. Like, I'm a sci-fi nerd. I'll be watching it 100%.
Yeah.
Like Zack Snyder, Star Wars film. I'm in.
Yeah, why not? Give it a go. Yeah, it's going to be good regardless.
Yeah, especially with his vision. Not to mention also PlayStation 5 rumor is that we're getting the Slim at the end of this year.
Okay. I haven't been a PlayStation fiend since PlayStation 2, but I've more of an Xbox dude, but my son is obsessed with video games. So if they can make a cheaper version of PlayStation 5, I'll be all in. It'll be good.
The rumor is I saw it's going to be roughly about $400.
Not bad.
Whether or not that's actually going to be the case, because obviously anything. Oh, America is like, oh, it's only $300 here. Oh, it's $600 here in Australia.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rumor is that PlayStation will get Slim version at this end of this year. Which it's funny because this out of all the PlayStation consoles, this is the most one that would need a slim version because of how freaking tall it is.
It's massive. It's huge. It's almost the size of a fucking microwave. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, bloody microwave.
No, you're right. And did you know it was meant to be taller?
Really?
Yeah, the original design, it was about another 10 to 20 mil, but someone was like, hey, no, we need to bring this down.
Yeah, I suppose it is in essence, a gaming PC and a console version. It's that high spec enough to be able to run all the games that are crashing computers at the moment. You can run them on your PlayStation. So it's PlayStation 5. But it said, I can see the point, but they should be able to make it smaller. Like even the Xbox X, Series X, that was the size of it was huge, freaking massive as well. So
yeah, it was. And the new I still love as like, oh, this is the new Xbox. I'm like, wow, your designer really went all out for that new one, didn't he? He really went out and just saw a tall building and was like, there you go. That's it. That's what it's going to look like. Just a total rectangle, no features.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
it's going to look like a mini fridge.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure you can get an Xbox fridge that looks exactly the same as the Xbox one. Yeah.
I was like, PlayStation's like, here's our nice, elegant, slim PlayStation 5, and an Xbox like, hey, here's our box.
Yeah, exactly. Is it inside that thing? No. That is the Xbox.
Yeah. That is it. We've gone all out. It's just kind of scary. When I saw that post, it was like, oh no, we're getting slim potentially in this year. I thought, wow, are we already at that stage? Has the PlayStation 5 and Xbox been out for that long that we're already at that point that we get the slim versions?
Yeah, well, they used to release the slim versions pretty well soon after. Like when you look at the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, they brought the slim versions out within about a year because they usually released it around about November, normally with the big games that are coming out. But they, because my Xbox One is now they're not making any more games for it, and that's only 5-6 years old. And I'm going, you better upgrade it and do it better on the Xbox One. But yeah, they're chewing through things a lot faster now, like they do with the iPhones, where that's the next best thing, and they discontinue the support for it pretty shortly afterwards.
That's true. And I also think the PlayStation 2 Slim was the most slim console. Like it was like this thin. Yeah,
it was tiny. Absolutely tiny.
Yeah. In which even the PlayStation 5, like the slim version was still about the same size, but now probably another reason why with Xbox that we started playing games is because of the Game Pass.
Yeah, it's so good, man. So good because I've got it from my computer as well. So I bought it for the Ultimate Game Pass for my boy plays on the Xbox, then I can get PC games on the computer pay $15 a month. It's bloody good.
How good is that though? I've got both. I got the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. One of the reasons why I got the Xbox was because I just loved all the backwards compatibility. Mm-hmm. Like their back catalog is so much bigger than PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially if you're with the Game Pass, if you look at some of the old, even 360 games they're putting on there, just to have a bit of a play or reminisce of like I played the original Doom, which I had on my old computer, and now I was able to play it show my boy on. This is what Dad used to play with the old really clunky scrolling FPS games. So
this is what we used to call that. This was the pinnacle. This was the
top-notch gaming
thing. Yeah. I saw a photo the other day. It's like, oh, when your son comes up to you and goes, I can beat you in any game. And the dad turns around and is like, holds a copy of Halo 3. Go on.
Yeah.
I dare you.
Yeah. I still remember the original Halo. We used to get old Xbox, the original Xboxes, and link them up.
The brick, the massive box.
Yeah, and the controllers were like you're holding a rugby ball. They were that sort of massive. Yeah. So we used to connect them up in a network and play on 4 14-inch TVs. That sort of old school, but it said it was fun because that was the pinnacle of gaming when I was growing up. Anyway, it was. It was good.
Wasn't that called a LAN party?
Yeah. But we used to do it with beer with our girlfriends in the other room, so they see us yelling at each other constantly. So it was good.
Oh no, that's and that was the best things about Halo was the co-op campaign.
Yep.
Me and my mate, we would spend so many Saturdays going through all the 3 games, and then going back through it again. And I do miss that. I do miss that co-op campaign split screen.
Yeah. Especially now because it's all multiplayer online. You're doing the same thing, but you're doing it with people all over the world, and it doesn't have the same feel. Like you will both pause the game. Like back in Blood, that was probably the one game recently I've had the same sort of. Have you played Back in Blood?
Nah.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's you team up with 4 people and you go around and complete missions like you do with Call of Duty Zombies, and it's cool. You get heaps of different weapons, and it's got that same feel again.
One game I'm really excited for that I think will get that little nostalgia kick is, have you ever heard a game called Hypercharge?
No. I'll have a look now.
Hypercharge it's by indie people. It's indie gaming company, and you get to play as toy soldiers, like action figures.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it's obviously called like Call of Duty based, but it's obviously no loot boxes, no cash grabs, no nothing. But you can do split screen. You do a horde mode,
Cool.
capture the flag. Like it's just you get the whole game when it's released.
That's wicked. I'm just looking at it now. It looks wicked.
And I think one of the cool things was one of the levels, if depending how you do it, all your enemies that you kill like pile up, or like your character, it will pile up underneath your character to show how many kills you've done.
That's cool.
And I said to my mates, I'm like, when this drops, we're playing this. I'm like, Saturday night, we're all getting around to a mate's house and we're doing split screen.
Yeah, it'd be wicked.
But yeah, I can't wait for when that finally drops. Real quick, as we've already seen, Flash is not only doing so terribly and horrible, it is now getting pulled from theaters because it is losing money ticket sales. So I saw that apparently it's getting removed from about 1,000 theaters.
Yeah, it's a shame. Damn shame. It's it needed, as I said, as we talked about before we came on, it needed a bit more positive press before it came out, and a little bit more. I said I haven't seen the movie yet, so it's a shame that it's now got to the point where it's getting removed. I have to probably have to wait for it to come to Netflix or something before I can watch it. But it's just like, as I said to you as well, like it's going to be one of those massive what ifs, what could have been, and to me, I was actually kind of surprised how bad it did at the box office. I was sure that with Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, and Ben Affleck coming back as Batman, with Supergirl, I thought, that would be a big enough push, even if you didn't like Isla Miller. Nope. Yeah, but no. As I said, I'm gonna try and see it at the cinema before it goes, but just to get the whole atmosphere of the movie. But yeah, it's a shame that it hasn't taken off, especially when you throw Michael Keaton in there, who's the OG Batman that everyone still loves. So you'd think it would have had some sort of the sheen of that original movie would have rubbed off on this one. But obviously, as everyone's saying, it's shot. So
right, but even though it is slightly shit, Michael Keaton is one of the MVPs. He does fantastic, and they also play the old theme. I'm not going to tell you where, but you do get to hear the old theme again.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. Also, Ghostbusters 5 is finished up filming. That's meant to come out at the end of this year. And that will be a sequel to Ghostbusters 4 Afterlife. That's meant to be coming. And it's meant to be, we did get a logo for Ghostbusters 5, which looks logo in like the snow. Because I think this is meant to be Ghostbusters, basically Ghostbusters International.
Okay.
They're going around the world.
In America World Police. That's for Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Ghostbusters World Police.
Yeah. Girlbusters World Police.
Yeah. That'll be going around. So that's all wrapped up and finished filming. And let's get on to Secret Invasion.
Let's do it.
So, quick question. Before we dive into this episode, how have you been finding this show so far?
I think it's good. It's got that whole spy feel to it with a little bit of Marvel, because there's not a lot of, apart from the changing of the Skrulls, but spoiler alert. But it's there's not been a lot of power usage. There's not been like superpowers. It's relied on actual content versus CGI stuff, which is now starting to come. Obviously, for this one, we're obviously going to go into it, but I find that it's good because it's not relying on visual effects to do this job for it. It's relying on actual actors. So, but it's going to be. I find it very similar to the two characters, which is going to be Samuel L. Jackson and is it Bendelson? They tipped
Aussie shout out.
Yeah, Aussie shout out. That's right. It's weird hearing an Australian accent and yeah, like g'day guys, what's going on? But it's those two working and bouncing off each other is very similar to The Man from U.N.C.L.E., where you've got Arnie Hammer and Henry Cavill, both sort of spies, but both equally important in their own right for their roles. And I think that's got the buddy comedy as well, when you throw in Olivia Colman as well in there, who steals the show a little bit, but and I'm hoping she doesn't get too silly. Like, as in, she's a good comedian, but I don't want it to go too silly.
No, and we apparently, which I think I can't remember if I said it last week. She was done. She's been campaigning to be in the MCU for a little while now. Yeah,
and she's a good actor. Like, she's a very, very good actor. I don't know if you've seen the series Fleabag. Have you seen that?
No, but I've seen Peep Show.
Yeah, Fleabag's very, very good, and she plays a key part in that as well, and it's worth a watch. So
I'll have to give you a watch. I'll put it on the list. Same with the one earlier.
Yeah. Surf Nazis must die.
Yeah. I fully agree with you. This show, which I seen some people put bad reviews about it, and I think I was like, are we watching the same thing? Like, this is like a sequel to Winter Soldier. This is dark. This is gritty. You know, if you didn't put the Marvel label on it, you could almost go, okay, this is in the same vein as Mission Impossible or The Bourne Identity.
Yeah, exactly right. If they didn't have the scrolls changing, you'd think it would just be a normal spy movie.
Yeah, that's it. And which I think, with the scrolls changing, makes it so unnerving, which the first episodes have done so well. It's so unnerving. I was like, you really can't trust anybody.
Yeah. And there's a big scene in this episode, which obviously I don't know whether you're going to bring up, but one particular part right there, and you're like, okay, that's the bit that puts the anxiety through the roof type thing for the character. You're going, you said you can't trust anybody, and who's this person? Obviously, we'll go into it shortly, but yeah, it's no, I'm loving it. I said I watched the last one with my boy the other night, and I'm hanging out for next Wednesday. It'll be good.
Yeah. Hey, can you believe we're at the halfway point?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't feel like you're watching, and they're an hour long. It's 4 hours worth of content, but it doesn't even feel like it. It just feels like you're watching one continuous, like, half-hour long episode, but it's 4 hours long.
I know. I'm like, oh, shit! It was already at the end. Is your kid liking it?
Yeah. So we've watched like a lot of the Disney series that have come out. And we've watched Loki. We watched obviously Mandalorian and all those ones. And I wanted to see what he thought of. Marvel's Secret Invasion, but he's it's probably a little bit over his head in relation to storyline and following it. So you're doing, especially the last couple of nights, catching up for him, explaining who the characters are and what they're doing and why they're doing it. But once, join the dots to get to the tail end. So, but no, he's enjoying it, and he's asking questions about the Skrulls, which obviously, me being a massive nerd, I can go and tell him about the Skrulls and I started covered it, but the super part of this Super Skrulls, which was brought up in the series, I'm like, oh, that's to do with. I said, have you seen Fantastic Four? And he's like, no, Dad. I'm like, oh, I'll have to show you that, son. So
we'll have to get on. We'll have to get onto that.
Right, you're not sleeping. We're going through the whole shitty 3 movies, and
Oh, you don't need to watch the third.
No. I still haven't seen that. Still have not seen that one.
Yeah, neither have I. And I was looking the other day, and it is literally the top 10 worst movies ever made.
Yeah, no, awful.
But no, real question. I've been asking everybody this. What do you think of the intro?
I don't mind it. It's a obviously I know you've used it for your graphics on your Instagram, but I said the green makes it. I saw it when I watched it the other night. I'm like, that's AI. That looks like it's AI generated.
Yeah.
So I think it's a picture of Samuel L. Jackson has got 5 eyes. I'm going,
Yeah.
because I've used AI generating. The original AI generation used to put like 7 fingers on one hand, and so I think it's okay. But I said it looks like it's AI generated in my opinion.
The designers have come out saying it is partially AI generated. It's not fully, they've done partially, but apparently the reason why they did it was because they felt like it was quite in tone with the show. Which to me, when I first saw the intro, not knowing it was AI, I really liked it. It gave me such of like War of the Worlds vibes, or like the 1960s, like Destroy All Humans.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibe it gave me, and I was like, all right, that to me, I was like, okay, that makes sense for what this show is going to be. But
Uneasiness.
People were such an uproar going, oh, this is AI, people aren't getting paid, people are losing their jobs, and the designers literally came out going, no, we got paid for it. We did this by choice.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I said. I know it's sort of a sideways shuffle, but using AI, I've used it for helping out some other other content creators with doing some pitches. You've still got to direct it the right way to get what you want. So you're designing it. You still got to use it to be able to design it. It's not a here computer, just make me everything for the next year. You've still got to input your content into it to actually make it work. So it may be AI, but it's still their AI.
That's right. It's still going to take some inspiration from something for it to be created. It's not someone going, I am creating a show called Secret Invasion and will star all these people. I must need a thing. Like, no, you have to be more creative than that, especially with, I think, the Chat GPT. Unless you've got the plugin for everything, it will only take everything up to, I think, 2020.
Yeah. I've been using Adobe Firefly, which is their new... So Adobe's jumped on the AI bandwagon.
How is that?
It's very cool. The regeneration thing was good. So I take a picture of my kids or my son, and I said, put them on an iceberg. Remove the background, said, put them on an iceberg. And normally you think it's just going to be some shitty picture behind with an iceberg. But what it does is actually casts a shadow that you would have. It puts everything's in proportion. So it's not just like the original AI picture generators I was using were shite. But these ones, I took a picture of my wife and my daughter and removed the face and said regenerate the face and just left it blank what they thought it was. And it was hit and miss. Some of it came out like the Secret Invasion intro, but other ones were on point. So it's fun. It's something to play with. And obviously Chat GPT is good, but apparently Chat GPT 4, the paying version, is on steroids. So you want to, it's going to take away some employment. But he said the way to get around that is to learn AI in your job.
You have to now. It's become an arms race in AI at the moment, and you have to. And there's no point going. I was having this conversation with someone the other day, not to go off topic, but someone going, "Oh, I'm not going to use it because I'm not going to use it because of this or because of that." I'm like, well, no, this is here to stay. The best thing you could do right now, especially as a content creator, is you utilize this now. Get ahead of the curve.
Yeah. And I use it for, have you heard of 11 Labs, which is all the new videos you see on the reels and stuff, they'll use 11 Labs because I've used it. So I'm like, that's the voice I use for a couple of my meditation videos. They will use the same voice. And I'm going, a lot of people are getting rid of the voice actory type and saving themselves time, having to record it and make it all pitch and the right level by using AI. And I think that's where you lose a bit of the personal touch. Like I've been told when I've done 2 of the meditation videos, which it sounded quite unnerving, but that was the whole point. I was meant to make an unnerving. I don't know if you've had a listen to them, but they're basically me pulling the piss out of meditation, etc. But I used AI voice generator to do it, and I've been told don't use that. Use your real voice. I'm like, oh, well, I'll give that a go for the next one. But it's got limitations, but I think you need to jump on board, as you said, as content creators and even other parts of different industries to be able to do your job. Use for your whole job as opposed to half your job. So,
exactly right. And I know I can't remember the name of it, which I know someone will point out. There is a podcast out there that someone has made that is fully generated by AI on both. The script was written by AI, imaging was made by AI, and the voice is AI.
Damn. Okay.
And
I
like
suppose it saves time editing.
Oh, that's right. But they wanted to make this as a test, and then they put that all together.
Yeah, some AI voices are pretty unnerving. Like the way they talk to you, it's it's you're like it's because it only puts you can. If you have a chance to look at it, it's 11labs.io, and you have a bit of a play with it, and you can make it as unnerving or as clear and plain as you like. It's actually a free account. Have a little bit of a look at it. But yeah, I think it's I said going back to your original question about the AI intro.
Pull back.
Yeah. It is. I said it's good. It does add that unnerving element for the whole show. But yeah, I said I'm looking forward to the next 4 episodes of Secret Invasion. It's going to be really good. So
I agree with you. So this episode opens up with Gravik showing the Cancel the fact that he has made this machine. This is his answer to the Avengers, which it's funny when he says that because I'm like, technically right now there are no Avengers because the whole team split up and Avengers HQ is gone.
Yeah.
So I don't even know who they would call because everyone's scattered. But this is his answer to it. We could see the fact he's taken samples from different beings, which, funny enough, so with Groot, the Extremis, the other beings, funny enough, all their powers also correlate to the Fantastic Four. Which I did love that nod. And he's showing this as his answer. And we also see from after that, we get to see this flashback again, another flashback with Nick Fury meeting his wife. Which we can tell a little bit of love interest, and we can see the nice Black Widow cameo nod saying Dracoff, all that, which I think the CGI of Nick Fury looking younger has been spot on. It hasn't looked jarring at all. No,
not Henry Cavill with no moustache. So with a moustache CGI, but no, it was good. Yeah. But no,
stuff for nightmares.
Yeah, don't look at me, Henry. But yes, I agree with you. The CGI stuff for Samuel L. Jackson, the de-aging is, it was on point. I was looking because I hate it when they make it look awful. So
I know it's like it takes you out so quickly.
Yeah.
And then we also leads into this intense conversation between Nick Fury and his wife, which again he hasn't mentioned why he disappeared with the second time and never came back. Like he hasn't really given an answer for that.
Yeah, it's the spaceship. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a spaceship, but why he didn't contact anyone?
Yeah. There's definitely, as you said, it adds to the uneasy as to is he a Skrull? Is there something else going on? Who knows? Was that original Nick Fury who helped the kids out at the beginning, helped the original young Gravik? Is that a Skrull? Because it wouldn't because obviously it leads on from Captain Marvel, but is his presence, did someone just, that's why he gets so friendly with Talos, because he's one of them, and Talos is the only one with the secret. Who knows? That adds to the uneasiness of the show, which is good. So
100%, and which again, Nick Fury doesn't even trust his wife.
No.
Doesn't even trust her, which you can tell from the entire conversation. Which is, I'm glad we're getting the background of more Nick Fury. But even Nick Fury is so unsettled with everything going on. How he's feeling and how he's such of his element. And, he looks a little bit troubled when she says to him, like, when she goes, "You chose to leave the second time. I had to adapt. The first one, you got blipped. But the second time, you choose to go away."
Yeah, it's good. I said it's a well thought out series. Where it's like Loki, which is it's not bouncing all over the shop. The movement between the timelines is for a reason and not just So you get some ones that move between the timelines back and forth, and by the end of 20 minutes, you're like, okay, where are we? But this one allows you to at least follow along and get the reason for a backstory. They only blip back to the past for a reason, and it sort of adds to the whole storyline.
Yeah, if they need to, which we find out that Nick Fury is obviously going to go with Talos, kind of like have a small makeup bro with a pub and everything, because Gravik is invading the Navy to go to a submarine to go attack a UN plane to start World War III straight off, which we get right before we fully dives into that. We get such an intense scene between Gravik and Talos, which I've seen people online actually dissect this scene.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah, no, it's good, very very good. Is that the there's 25 Graviks in the that was a very very well done scene, and it added to the tension of the whole thing. But the taking out the UN plane, or that was built, even though you're like, I know what's going to happen here, you still at the same time like, are they going to blow it up or are they not going to blow it up? You're like, oh, what's going on? What's going to happen? But yeah, I think it's building that tension up without acting it like a horror film or too much of a thriller. It's it's a thriller without having that horror scene part in there as well.
No, having to go that little too nudge further, because even the guy on the sub was like, I don't want to do this. This is what I don't want to activate this.
That's an actual feeling you'd have if you're in the same thing, launching a sea to air missile against the UN boat. You're like, what the hell's going on here? And you can't run away. You can't change anything because you're under orders. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's right. And so what I was mentioning earlier with the dissect scene of Gravik and Talos, which was such a good scene, was someone mentioned the fact if when you're watching it, I think at the start, Gravik is on the right, showing that he has the power, like he's in charge. But as the scene progresses, the camera turns and Talos is on the right, Gravik's on the left.
Cool.
So Talos has actually got the power in the scene, because obviously we see him and he stabs his hand and says, what I see the other day, keep my damn daughter's wife out of your mouth.
Yeah. It does fit. Yeah. But no, I said we've talked about it on messaging as well, with the nod to the Fantastic Four. I didn't even think about that. The fact that Groot being Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch being Extremis. And you've got was it Cull Obsidian is going to be the thing.
Yeah.
And so you've got, but I don't know whether they're going to do what they did in the comics, where they made one person have all the powers and switch it on. There was actually ended up looking like a Ben 10 one, where it was split into four parts of it. Or they make a team of Super Skrulls, or they have one who's the Super Skrull, and that may just be Gravik.
I think it could be I think it could be Gravik he may lose in this 6-part episode, but because what he's done to his DNA, it gets worse over time.
Yeah, and
he gets stronger. Because the guy who's playing Gravik is doing a fantastic job, and I was not expecting for them to mention Super Skrulls or to even get a Super Skrull. I was thinking, that's something they'll save for the Fantastic Four movie. Because they won't want to go through they won't do Doctor Doom again.
No, and whether they were talking about whether they're going to do Doctor Doom again, but at the same time, whether the Super Skrulls actually help out the Fantastic Four, or with a common enemy, because you've still got, whether Gravik decides to switch sides again, we don't know, but it's at least it gives them options for other characters or other enemies to play off. It'll be good either way.
Yeah. That's right, because as far as I know, the leaked idea for the Fantastic Four is Reed Richards makes a device which basically puts them into the quantum realm, and then when they come back, that's where they explain why they've been missing. So he made a device, all four of them went, and when they come back, they're in today's world, so they can explain, hey, you guys have been missing this entire time.
Yeah, because that's when when they drop down the Illuminati and when he drops out of that portal, that's actually Doctor Doom's. That's actually Doctor Doom's portal. So so I'm wondering whether that's the device that they use, gets stuck there for a bit. Doctor Doom takes the portal, uses it for himself, and then they come back through that way. So that allows them to. Because Doctor Doom does steal that from Reed Richards in the comics.
Yeah. I think so as well. And it'd be such a cool scene if they come into present day that they're wearing like the 60s outfits. Like that's opening scene. But it would be great to have we're getting a Super Scroll, which we were talking about, has seen that's been leaked in the trailer where you see Gravik's arm is Groot. That he is going to do it, which in the scene where he gets stabbed, it's kind of like he's already gone through that. He's already gone through the device because his hand heals really quickly.
With the extremist part. Yeah.
So that also looks like into it. And then, which leads on to, we get to see Gravik, Nick Fury and Taylor's going to go take out Bob.
Yeah.
Which I did like Taylor saying to Nick, I just want you not to be like, hey, this is how history looks. I'm like, no, how about you thank the guy that helped you write history?
Yeah. Exactly right.
I thought that was really good. And I like it. He's just saying, I just want you to acknowledge me. I just want you to say thank you, which we find out why Nick Fury has eyes and ears everywhere when Taylor says, we've been helping you. You would have not got here if it wasn't for us.
Yeah. And I think that's going back to what I originally said with the Man from U.N.C.L.E., the spy movies, when you've got two people playing off each other, they have a backstory that we're only unraveling as the show comes on, which adds to that tension in the background. And then you throw his wife in, you throw the Skrulls in, all that sort of stuff is going to... Yeah, it's going to build a good story, which obviously is building a good storyline for. It'll leave people wanting more if they don't tie it all up. Which again, I don't think there's any plans for Secret Invasion 2, but I guess that'll lead on to the other movies.
I think that's meant to lead on to the Marvels or something else that's meant to happen after that.
Yeah.
There's no mention of season 2 of. I wish we got a season 2 of Moon Knight, but so far the only show that's got a season 2 is Loki. But you're right. Which obviously after that scene, then we get they take out Bob. They stop the bomb, and stop the missile going off. We get another interesting scene with Taylor and Nick Fury saying, "Hey, look, you kind of agree with Gravik. Why aren't you siding with him?" And which Taylor says, "I'm with you. I chose you."
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Broke back Secret Invasion.
Oh, God. Broke back Skrulls.
That's right. I don't know how to quit you.
And which leads to the most shocking scene, I think, in this entire episode.
What's that?
With Gravik and Gaia.
Yeah. Yeah. She didn't last long, did she?
No. You can't do this. You can't. Shut up.
Bang. No sugarcoating it. Just bullet straight to the chest. Thanks very much.
Yeah. No, there's too many franchises. We got to take you out.
Yeah.
Kills her straight up. The thing is, the scene held over there for so long. I thought she was gonna pop up. Like the camera pans right over her for so long.
Yeah, I was expecting. I can't really kill off Amelia Clark. You can't kill her off. She's only, and then or she might be other bits and pieces for it. But if she decides to come back, because they always seem to make people come back. But no one really dies. But it was like a build of tension, and then the release of tension. We're getting shot. You're like, oh damn, what's going to happen now? And you said you're waiting for her to pop back up to. Yeah, it's good. It's building the tension.
She did. What do you mean? I'm telling you, she did.
She did.
The battery's dead. What do you mean the battery's dead? I said the battery's dead. If anyone got that reference, that's from. So this, as and we get this scene with Priscilla, Nick Fury's wife. She goes to this bank. She gets a deposit box out with a gun, which I was, for a brief second, I thought, oh, maybe it's a gun with Nick Fury's prints on it. She gets to frame him, but she put her hands all over the gun. So I was like, okay, I guess that's not the case. And who do you think was on the phone?
Ooh. I'm not sure. Again, this is why I'm hoping. I'm not sure. I want to try and leave it for the next time to see how it goes. I don't want to preempt it, but I'm hoping it's. Yeah, I don't think it's Nick.
No, it's not Nick.
No.
I not gonna lie, I replayed back the scene about 3 times, and I believe it's Rhodey.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's Rhodey, but I don't think. I know people are already going, oh, Rhodey's a Skrull. I'm like, nah. The way he was like, no, you're not talking to Gravik, you're talking to me, makes me think, okay, maybe he's trying to help Nick out somehow.
Yeah.
Because Rhodey can't be a Skrull because Rhodey's getting his own movie.
Oh, really?
Armor Wars.
Yeah. Huh. Unless they've put him in the old.
Oh yeah,
the brain drainer.
The brain drainer.
Well, they haven't exactly elaborated on what those do. Again, I can't recall. I don't know. I haven't watched can't recall the tail end of Captain Marvel if they put it in that, but
they did. I completely actually forgot about that. My guest from Forrest from Don't Be a Hero podcast, he actually mentioned, don't forget that they were searching her memories trying to find Earth.
Upside down. Yeah.
When she was upside down, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, shit.
Yeah. Now it makes perfect sense. That they've. Thank you for reminding me. Mind blown.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty much. Yeah. I was like you. I was looking at it going, oh yeah, I guess it's a memory wiper thing or some shit like that.
Yeah. No, it's set up. I'll have to go back and watch Captain Marvel again now, just to. I think pretty sure I fell asleep through half of it. It's a good movie, but I'm sure I fell through a few bits of it. So.
No. I don't. I think other people fell asleep in the movie too.
Yeah, but it's got Brie Larson in it, so that's the most important thing.
That's very true. Which we're getting the Captain Marvel 2 at the end of this year. Which it'd be good to see all 3 of them back. And see her story, because it feels like it was, but Endgame was so long ago.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Because remember, we got it was the biggest movie nearly of all time, and then suddenly, smack, COVID lockdown. COVID, boom.
Yeah, true, and then it stopped filming anything. I don't know. A couple of shows continued on and off in different countries as things were getting bad, but they did stop a lot of the movies.
That's right. Which we're still technically feeling delays of it now. Dave, do you have any bold predictions for the next 3 episodes or the ending?
I think the tension's going to get worse, as in the next couple of episodes, and then to another. So we've had the Emilia Clarke release. Well, it's terrible, but Maria Clarke tension build up, and then her getting shot. I think the same thing's going to happen, where it's going to be Nick Fury in the firing line at the end, or it's going to be Talos or Nick Fury at the end. It's going to be left dead, or something's going to happen to one of them at the end that's going to break up this buddy comedy, buddy spy film, and it's going to cause the tension leading on to the Marvels.
Ooh. Oh, it could be, that's true. Or like Gravik turns into Talos and Nick has to make a choice who to shoot.
That they've done countless numbers of other movies that go, no, I'm the right one. No, I'm the right one.
I'm the right one.
Yeah. Who do I shoot? But I said, or alternatively, it's going to be Talos versus Super Skrull. And then, again, it's going to be he'll lose straight away, but then there'll be a knock to, because obviously all these are superpowers, and it's the first time we've seen the superpowers with the Super Skrull. There's going to be a knock to the next movie. So whether you have Captain Marvel turning up save the day again, like she did with Infinity War, or whether there is something else, another cameo turns up that sort of leaves you hanging more for the next one. You're like, God damn. Or it might even be Photon, where because to lead her into it is to, that's the Lamb Beck, whatever her name is.
From WandaVision.
Yeah. So her coming across as Photon and sealing it, which then allows you to transition over to the Marvels, where she shows up in that one.
Yeah, actually, that would make sense because we got obviously Brie Larson at the end of Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
We did get that at the end, so it would make sense for Photon to pop up. My prediction, I just had. What I was thinking was going to happen. I just lost my train of thought. I was like, I had it in my back of my mind. That's right. I think that at the end of this, because we will see Nick Fury, which we've seen in the trailer, he gets the black suit again. He wears the eye patch. He looks back to normal. So I'm guessing that will be something that will happen in the very end episode. That he's like, nah, I'm back in the game. Let's end this. But whatever happens at the end of this TV show, with how many Skrulls are in the world, everything that's going on, this isn't going to end here.
No way. There's no way it could end here.
No, which we're going to get, like, as you said, I feel like this will, even when it happens in the show, there will be a super Skrull coming out.
Yeah, 100%.
But no, well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our review for Marvel Secret Invasion. We are at the halfway point of this show, which then after Secret Invasion, I think we've got Ahsoka, Loki, Twisted Metal, the Marvels, Echo, all coming out, and then Skeleton Crew. There's the new Star Wars show, Skeleton Crew, is also meant to come out this year.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. I'll have a look. I haven't actually heard of it, so I'm going to have a bit of a look now.
It's set in the Mandoverse.
Cool. Obviously, just literally popped up and said Skeleton Crew fits into the Mandalorian. I was like, yes.
But yeah, you don't want to watch the Twisted Metal TV show?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm
you're
really
looking forward to it?
Yeah. Because I used to play the game when I was original PlayStation 2.
How good is that
game? I don't know how they were going to transition it into a TV show, but it's because obviously the what's his name, Samoan Joe is playing the clown, but the voice of it is what's his name?
BoJack Horseman.
Yeah. He's obviously and Lego Batman. I like it when it's dark.
Yes,
but
yes, it is. Yeah.
So I'm be interested. I hope it doesn't flop, and I hope it doesn't just they're just making something for making something's sake. And it's coming to Amazon Prime, isn't it? Or
yes, for international people, it is Peacock. For us, it's Amazon.
Yeah, cool. All right.
I think the John Wick prequel is on Peacock, but will be a binge. I think
binge. Yeah.
The
more bloody streaming services. Yeah.
I know, which I said when I watched The Last of Us, I'm like, hi everybody, we're going to be watching The Last of Us on Binge, the streaming platform that no Australian uses.
Yeah, exactly right.
Like it can't be on anything else.
No, it's I think I've got 4 streaming services, another 3 or 4 I don't have. It's like you'll throw Paramount in there, you've got Stan, and then obviously especially for sports and stuff, they're all just Again, I'm going off topic, but it's just a pain in the ass. Yeah,
I know what you mean. Like I had to get Paramount to watch the god awful Halo TV show.
Still haven't seen that yet. I've got to. Don't.
Now, because it's funny because wow, you got Master Chief who doesn't take his helmet off every 2 seconds. Takes his helmet off.
Oh, right. It's like the Mandalorian.
That's why I thought it was so funny. It was like, we have to have a character that shows his face and shows emotion. Anyway, here's the Mandalorian.
Yeah, just talking through his helmet for most of it until he takes it off, and he could have been anybody under there, couldn't it?
Yeah,
until they showed his face.
Yeah, right at the end. But no, and what's it? Oh, and obviously I need Apple TV because I need to obviously for Ted Lasso.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Have you watched that?
I've got a free trial of it through my Game Pass, so I'm going to give it a nudge and have a bit of a look see it.
Oh,
So-
definitely. If you definitely watch Ted Lasso, that kind of. I didn't watch the first 2 seasons. I had a mate which actually what was Mark, was like, watch it. I was like, okay, I'll watch the first episode, binged it, and loved it.
Okay, I'll have to. I said I've got another week off work, so I'll have a bit of a try. But I think it'll be good.
Enjoy
Add
it.
to my list of stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. Add it to everything else. But any final words, Dave?
I want to say thank you very much for having me on, Lee. It's been good just talking everything movie and games, and I said we've both been going on the odd rant, so it's fit the profile rather nicely. So it's been good, man. So I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No, any time, and you're always most welcome at any time to come back on the show. You always have a spot on, and like as I said with everybody, please go check out their podcast. They're killing it. The sky's the limit for these guys, and I love it. So everything will be in the show notes. And as we say always, guys, until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Light, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.